as many other of you have done, a little few words to start in giving some data about the University of Granada. The university was established in 1531, so we are getting close to our 500th anniversary, which is nothing compared with the 800 years of the University of Granada, of Salamanca, that is hosting us here today, but still, it's quite old. And together with them, I'm sure, and Rector Rivero said it yesterday, we, both universities, we are proud of our past, of course, but we are sure that we cannot live of our past. We have to live in the present, and part of living in the present is to shape the future of our regions, shape the future of our country, and shape the futures of Europe at the very end. The University of Granada is located in the south of Spain, very close to the Mediterranean Sea, and we are probably, I think we are the only European university with campuses in two continents. This is not so well known, but we have two campuses in Africa, in the two Spanish cities in Africa, Ceuta and Melilla. We have campuses in those cities with they have their own faculties, and they are completely autonomous in the sense that any other faculty in the university. It is a very large university. We have around 60,000 students, and it's a comprehensive research university. I would say the same one as our colleague from Warsaw. It's a comprehensive research university covering all fields of knowledge, STEM, health sciences, humanities, and social sciences. Traditionally, the University of Granada was centered more in humanities and social sciences, STEM, and some medicine, at least in Spain. Basically, something could not be called university in the old times if they didn't have a medicine faculty, indeed. But STEM is quite recent. For instance, our physics studies have something less than 50 years old, and also the same for engineering, civil engineering, which is 34 years old. I mean, this is very, very recent. The only old ones we have in STEM is chemistry, which is almost 100 years old. But all of them are much more recent. But still, even though they are very recent, now they are becoming very, very strong in the whole university. But we still keep our tradition of humanities and social sciences, because we really think that even the future of technology is important. To have a humanistic point of view and a social sciences point of view for the future of technology is really important. We want technology to be at the serve for mankind and not the other way around. We don't want to have mankind serving technology. And in that sense, humanities should play a very important role. The university, as I said, is located in the south of Spain, which is an underdeveloped European area, and so the university has a very strong socioeconomic impact in the province. I said we have 60,000 students, and the city is around 300,000 inhabitants. So at the very end, 1 out of 4 inhabitants of the city of Granada have something to do with the university. And it generates, here there is a mistake in the slide, it's not 0.12% of the province GDP, but 6.12% of the province GDP. So it's a big change between 0.12 and 6.12. But now I will present just a few, as I said, a few of the projects we have. The first one is related with technology, as I said, UGR DONS. This is a project which we have in collaboration with CIEMAT in Madrid. CIEMAT is a research institute for environment and energy technologies. And this project is to build a particle accelerator in Granada, in a town near Granada. When we say particle accelerator, everybody thinks immediately about CERN, about this huge laboratory that is in Geneva, with huge accelerators with 27 kilometers long, and now the new project that the accelerator will have, if it's finally built, 100 kilometers long. No, it's nothing like that. That will be completely out of the scope of the possibilities of the university. It's a particle accelerator. It is much smaller. It is 100 meters long, or it will be 100 meters long, and but still it's really at the technological front, because it's not going to be the highest energy. The energy of this accelerator will be around 300,000 times smaller than the one at CERN, but it will be the accelerator with the highest intensity in the world. So this is still a very demanding technological need. This accelerator has been chosen by the ESFRI committee as one of the strategic future infrastructures for research in Europe. And the aim of it is to test materials to build a vessel for a fusion reactor. You know, one of the problems we have is production of energy. This is obviously these days with the cut of gas from Russia, but even before that, it was clear that with the present medium we have to produce energy, burning gas, burning oil, there is no way to continue in a near future. We need alternative sources of energy. Solar energy, wind energy still are in their infancy. It is not clear whether they will be able to meet the society needs in the future. Nuclear power plants, we all know all the problems they have. In general, they are quite clean when there is no problem. Of course, there is the problem with the debris, what to do with the debris. They are very highly radioactive, so it's very difficult, and it's a real problem where to keep it for hundreds of years without polluting the air, the environment. And of course, if there is an accident, we all have in mind what happened in Fukushima or what happened in Chernobyl. So they are really problematic. But these are still, although it's nuclear, it's completely different. It's still a new source of energy, which is fusion nuclear reactions. The present plants are based on fission, breaking heavy nuclei. Fusion, what you do is to join two hydrogen nuclei to form helium nuclei, and then that's the debris is helium, which is a product which is not radioactive at all. It has no problems, and it's a reaction that is much more easier to stop whenever there is a problem. So there is a large European, together with Asia, with mainly Japan, project to develop fusion energy, and our project, UGR Downs, is just a small piece in this huge project, which is just to design and find what is the best material for this fusion vessel. What we'll do is to produce neutrons with the same energy as the one that is produced in the nuclear fusion reaction, and test with these neutrons what's the resistance of the different materials, and choose the best one. That's the main objective of this reactor. But there are other possible applications that are under study. In the project, we have designed for the moment an empty room behind the experimentation area. It's empty because we have to find out what's going to be an interesting experiment to do with the neutrons that are not used in the main experiment. But also we are studying the possibility of diverting the beam and have a beam for neutrons, slightly different from the, well, quite different from the neutrons, but that can be used for some other things. What kind of things? Well, one of the things that are studied is, again, a study of materials, of crystals, but also some medicine production. There are a lot of medicines that are produced with irradiation of nuclei. And well, this is open to possible applications. If somebody has an idea, will be welcome and will be studied, and if it's feasible, will be done. Okay, and of course, the main idea is that this project promotes interdisciplinary research, involves many different kinds of research, electronics, plasma systems, and well, a lot of the different things. I will not enter into details, and it provides an opportunity to train technical staff in different for laboratories, and give our students, and it's open to everybody, of course, give our students a good opportunity to join a project of a high-tech project. A second project we are working on is, we call it the UGR-IA. IA is artificial intelligence. In Spanish, we change the order, or in Spanish, we change the order, which is the idea of establishing a center for innovation on artificial intelligence. And this center will be established in collaboration with Google and Indra. Well, I'm sure I don't have to explain who Google is. We all know Google, but Indra is also an IT company, international company based in Spain, which is quite large. So we have an agreement with these two large companies to start this center. We are taking advantage that our artificial intelligence research group is at the forefront of the world research groups. According to the Shanghai ranking, they are fighting for the first position. They usually have the first position in Europe, and they are among the first ones in the world. Okay. The collaboration, of course, is close already with these two companies, as I said, but it's open to other large companies. Not many, because we don't want to create a monster difficult to run afterwards, but it's still open for other companies that might be interested in joining this project. It's also open because we don't want to keep it only for big international companies. We also want to have some that the local companies benefit from this project. So it's also open to some of the smaller IT companies in Granada and in Andalusia. The proposals focus on basically everything one can now do with artificial intelligence. For instance, how to improve health treatment and how to, in health sciences, smart territories and cities, how to get some smart materials too, and this kind of things. Will become private sectors will clearly be able to benefit from this project, we are sure. Okay, that's it. And the third large project we are working on, this is still more in its infancy, which is UGR sustainability, with the idea is to create an international center for a Green Deal for innovation in sustainability and biodiversity services based on artificial intelligence. It's very close to the previous one. So it's so close that we are planning to have both projects, both centers in a same building that we just bought a few months ago, which is an old sugar factory in Granada, which we think it's interesting, it's nice because this sugar factory represents the forefront technology in the 19th century. And now this is not useful anymore, because that was because near Granada 30 kilometers from Granada. The weather is completely different. It's almost tropical. So there you can grow tropical plants like avocados and all kind of tropical plants. And in the 19th century, they planted a lot of sugarcane. So there was this huge production of sugarcane was used to produce sugar and also rum. Most of all the sugar factories have closed by now because they are not sustainable any longer. And it's only left one rum distillery but they don't have sugar canes from local sugar canes any longer. So they had this sugar factory that was closed something like around 30 or 40 years ago. And it was declared building of cultural interest, which meant that lost basically all his economic value, because I could not be used to build huge apartment buildings or any other factory. The owner had to keep the factory more or less as it is. And that allowed us to buy the factory at a reasonable price. So we are going to have both centers there. And the center, as I say, will promote biodiversity services together with the European Eric Life Watch project, which is a project we already have and we are already running, that is using the mountains that are close to Granada. We have a mountain system, Sierra Nevada, with mountains around 3,000 meters of altitude, which is now declared a natural park. We are going to use this natural park as a huge living laboratory to study the effects of climate change in a protected area. Okay? And this will be part of this sustainability, UGR sustainability project. I'm taking too long, so I will just finish with a few examples of good practice. First of one is we have set a breaker space. It's a space which acts in a building which is devoted to students activities, which acts as a place for creativity and entrepreneurial experimentation, startup incubation, and networking. So it's an open place where students, professors, everybody can meet, exchange ideas, see if they get a good idea that something can come out from there, and it's always open for those things. Second example that I want to bring here is that we have a scientific instrumentation center. I guess most of you probably have one of them. So, which is a center that where we put together all the big equipment that can be used by many research groups. So it doesn't really make sense to pay 5, 6, 10 electron microscopes that will be used for a very short time. Well, we can buy only one or two and share them among the research groups. But still, the use is not 100% of the time of this big equipment. So we have it open to spin-off companies, but not only spin-offs, but all the companies that can be interested to use it. We provide all the equipment for sure, but also the technological help to use this equipment. Normally, it's only local and regional companies that come, but of course, they are open to everybody. And now the last one is the project, I wrote it in Spanish, which is Quiero ser ingeniera, which translates into English into I want to be an engineer. I wrote it in Spanish because in Spanish, different to English, we have different words for masculine and feminine, right? Small difference. The last letter of the word means whether this is masculine or feminine. If it's an O, it's masculine. If it's an A, it's feminine. So this means that this is a program devoted to female students, female girls, high school and secondary school girls, that to promote them to take engineering as a career. STEM has already been said here. STEM is area where there are very few women following this area, this career, and the university has many programs to attract young students to the university to STEM careers, but most of them, all of them, but this one do not distinguish between boys and girls. This one is specifically devoted to girls. What they do is those girls that volunteer at the high school go to the university during July when they finish the courses at the school, and then they spend some time there with also female professors, so they have a model to follow, and they are introducing to what to be an engineer is like. And this is what I wanted to bring here. Thank you very much for your attention.